welcome back to another Dokkan video of mine, and we have a special video today. Now, I already went over the red coins. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible just so you can get this information and go about your day. There is a lot that they are doing for the 10th year anniversary, and the redstone is very important. There's only a few characters I can really recommend with the red coins, and we're just going to go over those units. I guess we could start off from the very top and work our way to the bottom. I guess I could recommend these two units right here. They just recently received their EZA. This guy's pretty good. He's going to work really well with the Majin Buu Saga team, and if you don't have a copy of him, he will be a really good pickup. I don't think, I would literally have to go into my box to pull up his information, but he's a really efficient dodge character. I think he's one of the weaker options, probably one of the weakest options, but he is still strong enough to pick up with a red coin if you do not have. And if you have every other unit I recommend in this video, then he'll definitely be a good pickup, right? He's dodging, he's rainbow orb changing. He can do a lot of things for the team. He doesn't have any like support that I remember or I know of. But he's really solid. He is guaranteed crits with 6 orbs. I mean, he's a really solid pickup. Like I said, I don't want to keep this video too long because there's a couple of units I do recommend. Majin Vegeta. Now we can really get extensive with this guy because he's actually one of the most recommended units. If you do not have a copy of him, they gave you 3 free redstones. I only have 1 left, and I'm actually going to use this video to pick up a specific unit that I have to do. But yeah, this character right here is, why am I on this guy? But yeah, this character, Majin Vegeta, is a very good tank. I'd say he's probably the best slot 2 option out of all the units I'm going to go over. So if you like are in need of a slot 2 for Majin Buu Saga, let's actually look at his categories. So yes, these are his categories. He's really efficient. I really wish I could pull up his kits. I guess I could do it, but it would just take up too much time. I recommend you go to Dokkan info. I do have a lot of these units already. Rainbow 90%, 80%, 79%, the ones that I'm recommending. So you know, just spend your stone wisely, but I do think he's probably somewhere within the top 5 or, you know, top 3 recommended to spend your coins. Now this Gogeta and Vegito, they're just, I mean, they're good, but their EZA has passed, and we're not expecting their super EZA for years because we literally just got the first super EZA LR in Gohan, right? And he's not, you can't pick Gohan up with the red coins, right? Let's just skip these characters that I'm skipping past. I mean, I guess I could talk about this LR Cell and LR Gohan. They're not really good. Their buffs have worn off. I mean, if they think about doing like buffs again, I'm pretty sure they're gonna get buffed again because they really do like to buff these 5th year, 4th year, you know, anniversary LRs for a limited time. Piccolo, worthless, worthless. All of these characters. Zamasu. We'll talk about Zamasu maybe later when we get some more free redstones. I mean, because his EZA is still pretty solid, but I do not actually recommend you get him right now at this very moment until we get like more Realm of God villain buffs, right? Because he still could be really good with his damage reduction, his additionals, his stacking. But I don't recommend you get him right now. The Super Saiyan 4s, of course, this guy and this guy. Just make sure you wait. Like I said, their limited time buffs are done for. Let's scroll down. Well, people were actually assuming he was going to get his EZA. I know The Truth made a video talking about if he was going to get his EZA as well as the GT Goku, but it was false. It was false information. Well, I'm not going to call it false information, but because they're going to get their EZA one day, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty top tier, but they do not have their EZA right now, so I do not recommend you get this guy just yet, especially because they give us a lot of free redstones. I mean, they select character Dragonstone number 7. They have dropped at least over 20 redstones at this point. We are going to get more redstones. They typically like to do this with like big celebrations. Just, hey, get free units, right? Pick up some characters that you need, right? And I think this is a good thing that they're doing. These two right here, I wouldn't recommend you. Like I said, they don't have their limited buffs anymore. These guys are going to come up on their super EZAs one day, but you know, for the most part, most of these characters that I'm skipping past, they're not worth much, right? I'm trying to find like the real valuable EZAs. Okay, so this guy actually has a super EZA and he's horrible. Do not spend your redstones on him. I wouldn't even recommend you get like if you don't have this guy in your box, you don't need him. Like, he's complete fodder, right? You don't use this guy anywhere. He's never going to be relevant. And I'm just going to keep it 100. I'm not trying to waste anybody's time. Like, oh, try and talk up or hype up a unit. This guy's trash. If you don't even have this guy in your box, you're not missing out on anything. You're wasting your stones, right? Okay, oh my god, finally. This is actually the #1 unit that I recommend you pick up, a copy of. If you do not have Buuhan, I can honestly say you could spend, or he's so good that you could spend literally all 3 of your red stones just getting a copy of him and 2 dupes. That's how good this guy is. This guy he's better than the Super EZA Gohan that just popped out, right? This is how good this guy is. He's the best Super EZA in the game. Better than like Beerus, better than who's another Majin Vegeta. He's better than some of these premium units, right? This guy is a definite pickup. Rainbow orb changing, healing, additionals, critting, damage reduction, support. He has it all, right? This guy is definitely a top tier. If you do not have TEQ Buuhan, or you don't have like all the relevant boos, I guess you could pick up a different copy or a different unit. But if you have like a solid Buu team, which I think is pretty relevant, right? Even if you're thinking about like just Majin Buu Saga as a whole, Majin Buu Saga, yeah, because even if you don't have the extreme side of things, Majin Buu Saga is a really good category right now. And he's helping out power absorption as well. Majin power, Kamehameha, transformation boost, demonic power, uncontrollable power, right? Sworn enemies is even sort of a decent category, right? You've got this TEQ Buu, this Int Buuhan, or this Int Buu, this Kid Buu, this AGL Frieza. This guy can still work really good. This guy's still pretty good. But yeah, sworn enemies, it's come a long way. We still do need a lot of sworn enemies buffs, but let's move forward. Let's move forward. But like I said, this is #1 recommended right here. Okay, here we go. Now, this guy actually has a Super EZA, and he's pretty good as well. If you have LR Gotenks, this is completely obsolete. But if you do not have the LR TEQ Gotenks, I guess I can recommend this guy. He's a really solid unit. He's going to have damage reduction. Like I said, he's got his EZA and his Super EZA, so he's completely done. I don't think they're ever going to do like a Super EZA 3. And even if they do a Super EZA 3, that would be like 5 years, right? That would be like in the future. But this guy could be a really solid run. I'm probably going to do a showcase on him very soon with the 220% leads because he has one. And he's still a really solid Super EZA. Okay, let's talk about this Vegito. I'm actually planning on doing a Vegito covering the 5 Super EZAs this celebration, so stay tuned for that if you are this far into the video. And if you're into this video still, drop a like. It will help my channel grow, and I would deeply appreciate it. But this guy right here, he's sort of his Super EZA. I don't want to really talk too much about his Super EZA because it's like I like this unit. Me personally, I like him. And, being a Dokkan YouTuber, I cannot be biased. I can't. I even though I want to glaze this unit and say, oh, he's worth it, he's good, I can't be biased, and I can't let my personal emotions and feelings, play a part and playing a role in you picking one of these units. I can only recommend I mean, if you want this character, I could recommend it. Like, if you don't have him, and like, because we do have 3 red stones that they get for free, right? And if you don't have him, I do recommend you pick him up, but I wouldn't recommend you spend any more than just getting 1 copy of him just so you have him, to complete the box or complete missions, or, if you want to run him with the new TEQ Super Vegito, I could definitely see you picking this guy up. But the damage reduction, the scouter, the support, he's got a couple of things that he can do, but it's just his conditions are pretty strict, and defensively, he's dying from most of the hardest hitting bosses in the game. So I can't really recommend you pick this guy up, even though I know a lot of people are mad about his Super EZA. It is what it is, right? Now, another guy I could recommend is Super EZA Beerus, and Super EZA Beerus is just, he's still woefully powerful, right? When his Super EZA came out, he was like Buuhan in the case that he was an anomaly. Like, he was like crazy good, and he is still crazy good. Now he has 2 rages with his Super EZA. He's on a couple of good categories: Aroma Gods, movie bosses, planetary destruction for the missions, space traveling warriors for the missions, exploding rage. There's literally a mission video I have to do of exploding rage, and that's going to come out soon. Successors, so he's on a 220% lead. Battle of Fate. This guy is on a couple of decent teams. He's going to work really good with the movie bosses. He's going to work really good with Realm of Gods. There is one more category, Exploding Rage. right? He's going to work really good because he's going to have damage reduction and guard, and those two rage modes, it definitely plays a part. So I do recommend you actually picking him up, especially if you don't have him. I'd probably recommend him second, right? Right beside Buuhan. I'd say Buuhan, and if not Buuhan, I would recommend this Beerus as second. Let's move forward. This guy has a super EZA, and I actually don't recommend you get him because, you know, when it comes to Majin Buu Saga, you have better supports than this guy, right? I really do wish they can update this so I could actually read off his super EZA passive from here. But, you know, and just to keep the video as quick as possible, I really just cannot pull up all of these characters' kits. I basically just have to go off memory, but there's better supports than him. There's better characters than him. There's characters doing his job better than him on the team that you really want to run him on. So I don't really recommend you pulling him, even though he's a pretty valuable and decent option in game. I just can't recommend you spending a redstone on him. So moving forward, you know, we have this guy as well. He's actually, he's weird and interesting because, like, I sort of do actually recommend you pick up this guy, right? No, actually, I lied. You know what? I would have recommended this guy before AGO Frieza's EZA. And, you know, if you look at the banners, he's literally on, you know, probably the most premium banner we've ever seen. Beast Gohan, Vegeta, that turns into Goku, that turns into Gogeta, the reversible exchange unit. And it's TEQ Gogeta on that banner as well. You have, who's the other really, Broly's on that banner. Like I said, I think I mentioned Beast Gohan already, but he's like AGO Frieza. He's a better EZA than this super EZA Frieza. So I really can't recommend you spending a stone on him, even though, like, literally 3 weeks ago, if I made this video 3 weeks ago, I actually would have recommended him to just pick up a copy of him to fill out your box for missions, right? There's extreme units actually get a plus because their super EZAs tend to be better than this super side, and I'm not just making that up. I mean, you could just check it out yourself. And, you know, people in the comments, feel free to let other people know, like, I'm not bullshitting. Like, I think I'm giving pretty decent, you know, a pretty decent evaluation of these units and these characters. I do think he's very solid, right? But I think there's a better, you know, full power Frieza in the game that a lot of people are gonna have, right? Because he's first of all, AGO Frieza has been out for some years now. He's on the most recent banner with, like, probably the most broken banner we've ever seen in history. It's just, yeah, it's Gogeta definitely has a better banner than Vegito. So, you know, I can't really recommend you use him, right? Now here's where we get into the fun, interesting units that I've been dying to talk about. This Gogeta right here, fine, amazing. A lot of people are underrating him. I do think he is someone you could pick up if you don't have, but I do also believe that a lot of people are going to already have him 79%. You know, that he's one of those characters to where it's like, okay, if you have him 79%, don't worry about picking up the extra copies of him. Just focus on, like, if he's at 55%, maybe picking up an extra copy of him would be worth it. Or if you have 0 copies of him, that's when he'll be worth it. But at the same time, this Super Gogeta at 55% is not really going to look the best. So I do recommend you actually only get him if you like need the extra copy for him to, you know, look even better. He's not really, like, if you're missing this unit, you're not really missing out, but he'll be really fun, especially with the anniversary units, the Super Gogeta. He's supporting, he's doing additionals, he's debuffing. So in the new Battle Hardened Foes events, he's actually one of the characters that work really well because you're able to debuff these strong ass characters. I mean, the dude, if you go into that formidable fight, bring this Super Gogeta if you have him, and he's gonna work wonders, right? He's top tier. I do think he's in the upper echelons of units, even though he's probably a little bit worse than the other super EZAs. I do think he is still really good, and I enjoy running this guy. So just keep that in mind, right? I actually don't know with this guy. I can't say for certain if I would recommend, but this is something you're gonna actually have to go within and find out yourself. Like, if you need him, get him. If you don't, you don't, right? This is actually probably the third character I would recommend behind Buuhan and Beerus. Janemba already has a really good counterpart in the LR Janemba, so that's why I'm actually putting Beerus before this Janemba, because this Janemba is indeed better than Beerus, in my opinion. It's a debate. It would be like a hot take. I'm gonna have to make a hot take video soon. I'm gonna have to make a hot video take soon. But, you know, Beerus is really good. But this Janemba is extremely good, right? He's going to have 90% dodge in slot 1 before he attacks, 70% chance to dodge in slot 1 and in slot 3 after he attacks, right? So he's really going to be putting in that work. He's int, so you can do like a full 30 dodge build with this guy. His main focus is dodge, building up, doing additionals. He can tank supers as well. He can tank Super Gogeta. That 4 million super turn 1, he can tank it, right? He can eat it. Well, not at 55%, but I have 100%, so it's a little unique and different. But he's still with that 90%. At 55% in slot 1, he can still have 90% damage reduction. You know, he's going to have the 5 free dodge, right? And you could put some more dodge on him with the silver and bronze equip. You could put, you know, some dodge equips on him, and he'll still look really, really good, right? So he's actually the 3rd unit I would recommend. I told you, extreme units are doing really good right now when it comes to super EZAs. This guy has a super EZA, but I'm not going to mention him because he's pretty much worthless. Kid Buu, if you're like a showcaser, I would actually only recommend you get him if you're like a Dokkan YouTuber, right? This is something unique. So if you're like a Dokkan YouTuber, I actually would recommend you get this guy because, you know, when it comes to supporting, when it comes to showcasing, this guy is actually going to be able to have a pretty resounding effect. So, you know, having this guy at 100% so you can maximize his defense, so you can maximize, you know, the showcase, so you can maximize, you know, other units potential. That's the only reason why I would recommend this guy. I actually would recommend this guy over, you know, like this AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku and stuff like that. But, you know, so this is the guy I'm actually gonna use my redstone on, right? So in the midst of making this video, I'm actually gonna pick this guy up so I can 100% him, and I'm actually gonna do no, it's either 2 videos from now or the next video I drop is literally going to be a showcase of this guy. And he's at 90%. And so we have this one last redstone. So I'm actually just going to pick this guy up after I'm done with the video. Well, not even after I'm done, you know, going over these units. I'll come back to this guy. But this guy, do I think he's worth it? Hell yes. I think he's super good. His super EZA is really outstanding, right? He has big bad bosses as well. Like I said, I have not did the showcase on him yet. But I could tell you right now, a double orb changer, a nuker, a supporter, you know, a damage reduction. He gets crit every rainbow key sphere. Like, this guy is insane, right? This guy is really, really good. Really, really good. And he's on 220% teams, right? So do not underestimate the power of this guy. His super EZA is really, really crazy. He's actually better, in my opinion, than the LR Gohan counterpart. The LR Gohan super EZA, it's crazy because most of the super extreme EZAs are better than him, right? And this cell is a really good pickup. I actually don't think a lot of people are going to have this cell because this cell hasn't been around in a long time. I don't actually recommend you use stones to pick up a copy of him on that banner. I actually would recommend you, if you don't have him, to just use one of your stones. So, damn, I know I've been, you know, shooting this out, but maybe I should have talked about cell a little bit earlier because I don't think a lot of people would have this cell. This cell is actually really unique, really powerful. And I do think he's actually going to be one of the characters people don't really have too many of. So I actually do recommend you pick up at least one copy of him. Like I said, you do have 3 red stones, right? And if you've been saving your red stones, you would have all 3 still. But me doing showcase and me being a Dokkaner and me, you know, trying to prioritize showcasing and stuff like that, I definitely have been you know, using those red stones. And like I said, I'm actually going to pick up one more copy of him. I actually have all the super EZAs. After I pick him up, I'm going to have all the recent super EZAs at 100%, which includes the Gogeta, the Vegito, the Buuhan, the Janemba, and then he's literally the last super EZA of the celebration. At least, unless they like shock us with the roadmap, I got to make that video as well. I'm actually speculating that they're going to, you know, broaden the map a little bit. I do think they're actually going to drop a little bit more cards than what they're showing us. I do. I have a suspicion, right? I have a secret suspicion that they're not showing us all of the characters that are coming out, right? Because this is the biggest celebration of all time already, right? This is already the biggest, the best. But I think they're hiding something. I think they're going to surprise us. Like, oh yeah, there's actually 3 more characters that we hid from y'all that we're actually going to introduce to the game. Even if it's a small amount, like 3 characters, that's still very big because that's more content, right? So that's why I was trying to hold back on the redstones, but you know, it just is what it is, right? It is what it is, right? So I'm gonna 100% him, and I do recommend you get him. This guy, I don't recommend. even though, you know, he's really good, he's top tier, he's going to work with the Brolys. The Brolys are in a really good spot. There's so many good Brolys that it's like, God damn it, you don't need another good Broly. If you have him, good. You don't need to waste any red coins on him. If you don't have him, let's say you have all the previous, you know, picks that I talked about this video. Let's say you had literally everything, like everything I literally went over. Let's say you had all of them and you don't have him yet. That's when I would say, okay, pick this guy up. When you already have all of them at like 79%, or you're comfortable with your box enough to, it's like, okay, I don't have him and I want him. That's when I'd say, okay, you can get him. But like, if you don't have any of the previously mentioned guys and you're thinking about it, like I do think because he rainbow orb changes, he builds up damage reduction, he stacks attack, he's going to be critting, he's supporting. I mean, he's really, really good. But I just think the team's already doing good without him, right? The accessibility. You have a EZA Broly. You have Tech Broly. You have the LR Int Broly. You have the EZA Tech LR Broly that does like 50 million, 30 million, 30 million, right? With the active skill, right? So there's just so many good Brolys with this same name that it's just like, I cannot really recommend you pick him up unless you're already comfortable with all the units you have in your box and he's like, okay, I just need to get a copy of him. That's when I'd say because he's really good. He's really good. But I can't actually recommend you picking him up if you already have everything you need. So this guy, his EZA sucks. Well, it sucks now. It was good when he first dropped, but his EZA sucks. So I don't like most of the LRs on this, like in this roster, I don't recommend. Like, yeah, his EZA, this guy, I mean, he could be solid, but I mean, I'm not a cheeser or I'm not a baiter, right? You know, collecting 7 orbs every time is not reasonable. It's not realistic. So I can't really recommend you get him. These guys are just write-offs at this point. I mean, they were good when they first dropped, but I mean, power creep, right? Well, what are you going to do about it, right? I can't really recommend this guy because power creep has completely obliterated this guy. Not to devalue how good he was when he first came out, but we're just in a different time, right? So he's just an older character. I would say if you don't have a copy of this guy, he would probably be a lot of fun because I find like running androids is a lot of fun in this game. Like I like my love for the androids is like so much deeper because of the Dokkan, right? Because like Android / Cell Saga, like before I was really like into Dragon Ball Z, I think it probably was like my least favorite saga, but I have grown, like Cell Saga has grown on me so much. Like I can't even, I like it has grown on me so much, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with this character. If you want to have fun with the game, pick this guy up. That's what I would say. If you want to have fun and meme around and have fun, I think this is a very fun character. But I don't think he's a very good character, right? Of course, his EZA is way better than this. They're just showing us his base kit before EZA, but you know, I would definitely say he's a fun character, very fun, right? You know, exchanging it to that Android 17, this guy still has dodge in his passive, right? They're still decent, right? Support and all. Oh, this Broly. So back to what I was saying earlier. It's a coin flip. I'm not even going to judge this character. Do whatever you want when it comes to this character. This is one of those characters I can't judge because Dokkanners, me knowing the fan base, people love damage. And, you know, damage conquers all to some people. If you're a damage guy, you're going to have fun with this guy. Real talk. I'm not even going to lie. And it's not like he's in a bad position. I mean, that Broly team, like I said, that uncontrollable power or that movie bosses or that planetary destruction, right? It's just... it works. So I can't, movie bosses as well, right? Transformation boost, right? Pure Saiyans just got buffs, right? Well, yeah, with this Goku and this Vegeta, right? I mean, I'm just gonna leave it up to you at that point. Would I recommend him? I don't know. That's up to you. These are write-offs. These are write-offs. Yeah, all of these LRs, like I said, these are write-offs. So, okay, finally, we're done with the oh my God, ew. Do not use your redstone on this at all costs. I'm glad I scrolled all the way down. Oh, wait a minute. They actually... What? I'm sorry. Hold on. Really? So you're telling me you could pick this guy up 3 times for free? And he just got his Super EZA? Oh, because he's not bad. When I made that video, that showcase of him, I called him mid, but in all honesty, he's just good. What, you know, mid equals good. That's what mid means. I mean, this is the Dokkan community. You gotta understand. Mid means, okay, he's runnable, but that's it. He's not overpowered. He's not broken. He's not, oh my God, Beast Gohan, right? He's good, aka mid, right? I'm more shocked that you're actually able to pick him up. I didn't know you were able to pick him up. Okay, well, if you don't have him, I actually would recommend you pick up at least one copy, actually. Because he's still supporting, he's still got damage reduction, he's still rainbow orb changing. I mean, he still got some stuff. So actually, if you never pulled that Int LR Gohan, if you don't have a copy of him, I actually do recommend you pick one up. This is actually insane. And he starts off as an LR, so you don't have to like go through the troubles of awakening or anything. That's okay. Actually, well, damn. Okay, I would actually recommend you pull this guy, get a copy of this guy for free, like a LR for free. I mean, of course. I mean, I just didn't think they would actually. I mean, knowing that he's the first unit to get the Super EZA as an LR, I mean, I didn't think they were gonna be generous enough. I actually expected it to just stop at Majin Vegeta. Okay, well, wow. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is, to end off the video, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up that copy of Cell. I think I passed him. Where are you at, Cell? Where you at, buddy? Where you at? Where you at? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pick up this copy of Cell, and there's the video, right? I got Cell. Let's go ahead and hit a potential. Let me go ahead and you know, finally put this last dupe in this guy, and then I'm gonna have to make this showcase video. So there we go. I mean, that is the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, or not, I really don't care. I love y'all, appreciate y'all, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.